So I know a lot of you are probably here because you're curious to know if I know what I'm talking about when I say that there's a how and why mother wounds are a generational curse. So let's get into it. First things first, a curse is a limitation on your life that's a consequence of someone having broken the spiritual agreement with God. So the first thing we have to understand that a curse, or the purpose of us being cursed or under the curse of the enemy, is to impose a limitation on our lives to keep us from achieving the assignments God predestined and preordained for us, to keep us bound and stagnant and unable to be abundant, walk in abundance, or truly live an abundant life the way God planned for us. Where the mother wound comes in is literally in the beginning of your life, to mold you and make you into what that curse has in store for you, which, please understand, is separate from the person of who your mom is. The curse is ruled by a familiar spirit, an unclean or evil spirit, which is of the enemy, and therefore its only job is to steal, kill, and destroy, just like its father, the devil. So you have to look at it like the nurturing and the understanding and the love that you got from your mom was from the person that she is, who God made her to be, while the part that belittled and berated and physically abused or abandoned you was fueled by the unclean spirit that knows the key to destroying your destiny is behind the face and the heart and the nurture of your mom. Because who else could we love so much that we give everything up for? So if you've bonded with your mom, been groomed by your mom to be a good girl who does good things and gets rewarded for that good behavior, you are going to do everything in your power to keep that up, especially if the polar opposite is true when you misbehave or get in trouble. If you get a bad grade or a bad report from a teacher and your mom alienated you from your other siblings, and I don't just mean, timeout or being grounded as a consequence of that bad behavior. I mean, she completely ignored you and loved on your siblings. Bought them gifts and your favorite fast food in your face, telling you that you couldn't get anything because you've been bad. And while on the surface, this might seem like a reasonable consequence, there's a difference in you have to sit by her when y'all go to the pool because this family day was pre-planned before you were on punishment and there's no one to leave you with, versus her intentionally going out of her way to lavish gifts and good times on your siblings to control your behavior because she knew how much that would hurt you. And she knew how much you'd work that much harder to please her so you wouldn't have to feel that kind of emotional abandonment ever again. What happens next is you decide there's nothing that you want to do that your mom doesn't want you to do that's worth losing her love over. And you take that conviction with you all through adulthood. And you go to the college she wants you to go to. You choose the career she wants for you. And when it comes time to choose your dream company, instead of choosing the one you really want, you choose the one she likes or the one that you think would make her the happiest with you. And you have no idea at this point that none of what you decided to do with your life has anything to do with what God predestined for you. I personally know women who have married the man their mom or family felt was the better option for her, just to get in that marriage and get mistreated and end up an angry, divorced, single mom because her mama said this was the right thing to do for the family. And at some point, you get sick of that life. And you cry out to God for guidance and clarity, and one thing at a time, one relationship at a time, one opportunity at a time, he starts stripping you of all the things that he never meant to be in your life. Or if he did, he meant for the seasons of those things to come to an end a long time ago, but you held on because you were comfortable. You held on because you didn't know that this wasn't his plan for you. You maybe held on because to let go would put you at odds with the only mom you have. And the only way you know to keep her loving you is to do what she would want you to do. But when you get tired of going along to get along, and when you get tired of life being less than what you feel in your spirit it's supposed to be for you, you start to lean on God and his nudgings. And you go back to school if you have to. You get specific certifications if you have to. You leave your dream job and start over if you have to. And then things start to finally look up for you the way you know they should be. But then the bomb drops And now you have to do some things that your mom really doesn't like or really doesn't want you to do. And now you have to decide if you're going to keep doing what God has been calling you to do, or if you're going to do what your mom wants you to do and risk being in idolatry. And I don't say that lightly, okay? As someone who really took a while to come out of the idolatry of letting the fear of my mom's potentially hurt feelings keep me from being obedient to God, I really don't speak on making your mom and her feelings an idol in your heart lightly. Like, it took me easily 2 years, maybe more, trying to put out my Unloved Daughter healing courses and help women heal while still hiding in the shadows and the shame of my own heartbreak. And I didn't know that that was the exact plan of the enemy, and it was up to me to break free of the limitation and walk in my true calling, because that's what the mother wound does as a generational curse. It keeps you from God's predestined calling on your life and surrenders you to the bondage of being mommy's baby. Because if mommy don't like it, you can't do it. If mommy don't like it, she won't love you. And if she don't love you, what does that mean for the rest of the family who loves her and looks up to her and admires her and needs her? How are they going to treat you when she's done crying to them and telling them how you broke her heart? How many phone calls are you going to get about how you treated your mama and what's wrong with you and you need to make this right? How are you going to bear the weight of your whole family being against you for some pipe dream, some fantasy that makes no logical sense to anyone, but you've told yourself is what God is calling you to do? How do you choose that over pleasing your mom and keeping your family happy and off your back? Because that's what the enemy is doing with this curse. He's making you choose between following the plan of God for your life that up to this point was making sense and giving you hope and peace, or upsetting your family and having to go the rest of the way all alone. That's why this mother wound is a generational curse. Because how many family members can you pinpoint in your bloodline that had dreams of doing big, beautiful, amazing things with their life, but couldn't get it done because mama didn't like it? Mama didn't think it was smart or safe. She didn't want them going that far from home, or didn't want them to give up on that good man chasing a pipe dream that might never come true, or chasing a dream and giving up on a good woman, because mother wounds affect sons too. So instead, they got married, stayed close to home, helped out when mama got sick, stayed home until she died. And by that point, either they'd given up on their own dreams or had too many of their own kids and their kids' dreams to help them with to follow their own path. How many of those same women who gave up on their dreams convinced their kids to give up on their dreams for one reason or another? Reasons that all sounded logical and fair, but when you start to see the pattern, you also see fear and jealousy, and in some cases even hate for the audacity of their kids to want a life outside of them and be willing to go and get it when they never had the courage to do the same thing for themselves. The devil is tricky and crafty, and he knows our weaknesses and the things that we love and the things that we fear, and he will use those things against us to keep us controlled and stuck exactly where he wants us to be, which is outside of the will of God for our lives, so that we never do the thing that God created us to do. And the souls that are meant to be saved through us and the inspiration we're meant to be for them will never come to pass because we're too scared to be the bad guy. Too scared to hurt mama's feelings and follow God's plan for our lives. And I can't tell you to come out of idolatry and walk away from your mama and follow God and his perfect plan for your life. All I can tell you is that I'm here to hopefully open your eyes to see where you might be, where you could be. And if any of this has resonated with you, check the description box below for my Unloved Daughter, Transformation Seasons, and Curse Breaking Prayers information to help you get started on your journey to healing your mother wounds and breaking the generational patterns off of your bloodline. Until next time, y'all stay blessed.